Honest, fair, accurate. KVAL News starts right now.
Tonight, new signs revealed. Workers made the signs for the newly named Randy Pape Beltline today.
And I went to Salem to check them out. Good evening. I'm David Walker.
And I'm Jennifer Winters. Thanks for joining us. The new signs will soon go up along the busy roadway, trumpeting the name change from Beltline Road to the Randy Pape Beltline.
I was there when state workers put on the finishing touches. It's our top story.
The new Randy Pape Beltline signs are being made here at ODOT Sign Shop in Southeast Salem. With computerized technology and a sharp X-Acto knife, the sign crew makes a couple of thousand highway signs in this shop every year.
Once it gets transferred to the plotter will etch out the edges of the sign, and then the employees will weed the legend out.
Production of the two Randy Pape Beltline signs comes after more than a month of protest and public outcry over the idea of renaming Beltline Road.
I think this community had a robust discussion. I think all the viewpoints were adequately aired and the people had a chance to respond.
And not everyone is happy with the outcome.
A lot of people aren't pleased with the final decision, but in this type of situation, there's going to be some disappointment. I think that disappointment will heal in time, and I think the community will move on.
The first two of these Randy Pape Beltline signs rolled off the presses here in Salem on Wednesday, and it will be a while before more are made.
I think the next time you're going to see a Randy Pape Beltline sign is when we hang the new signs associated with the I-5 Beltline and Gateway Improvement Project, which is underway right now.
That project is expected to be finished in the summer of 2011.
Well, the original proposal to rename Beltline carried a $250,000 price tag. After a lot of negative feedback, that was cut to only these two signs at a cost of about $1,500. Well, this afternoon, I called Scott Reynolds with the group that started a Facebook page opposed to the renaming of Beltline. He tells me they are still fighting the change, and they're trying to get a statewide ballot measure to voters in November that would prohibit the state from renaming property owned by the state of Oregon, and it would be retroactive to January 1st of this year.
Well, we had a bit more sunshine today.
We certainly did and enjoyed it. Is more sunshine on the way? Our meteorologist Seth Wayne live tonight from near the Ferry Street Bridge with your first weather.
We have a lot of sunshine to deliver, not only as we wrap up the work week, but head into the weekend as well. Follow me. Let me introduce you to a few fine folks from our community. They are drumming up support for the upcoming NCAA championships for track and field, of course, heading to Hayward Field June 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. They want you to buy tickets. They want a sold out Hayward Field. The single day tickets go on sale Friday, and we'll talk more about how you can get those tickets coming up in a bit. But let's take a look and show you what's going on right now in the world of weather. Right now, we're looking at temperatures in the 60s here in Eugene, Springfield. Roseburg about 68, 54 now, Coos Bay, North Bend. So for tonight, those temperatures will start to fall to about 40 degrees, again under partly cloudy skies. That wind out of the northwest 10 to 15. Tomorrow, daytime highs of about 73. David and Jennifer could be talking the warmest days of 2010 just around the corner. Your complete forecast coming up.
Thanks a lot, Seth. And tonight we're continuing our series on bullying.
Well, it may once have been thought of as kids being kids, but times have changed, and so has the definition.
KVAL's Lauren Allison joins us now with more.
Yes, Jennifer and Dave, I checked with local districts to see what their policies are and really to see if they're following state law. And some of the answers I found may surprise you.
Any act that's gonna cause a kid to be in a place where they are feeling intimidated, feeling harassed, and really anything that's going to get in the kid's way of their education.
In recent years, the definition of bullying has grown to include a broader range of behaviors, and schools have had to adapt.
That starting this year, every single school district in the state must have on the books an anti-bullying policy.
I talked with representatives from Eugene 4J School District, Springfield School District, and Bethel School District. All have anti-bullying policies in place, though it's up to the district to set the standards. Specific standards were beefed up with the passing of House Bill 2599. Now state law requires a bullying policy to cover any behavior that would threaten a student's sense of personal safety or property. It must include all protected classes, a list of the consequences, and schools must have a formal process for parents and students to file complaints.
Anybody who's affiliated with Bethel School District is expected to uphold the policy. And what we mean by upholding is they interrupt any harassment or bullying that they see.
What we're working on is how do we evolve strategies that really reinforces the policy in a practical sense.
Every case is different. And so there's no matrix that says if you do this to another kid, you will get this consequence.
Here's the breakdown of numbers across districts. Eugene 4J School District is the largest district. Delft says they average around 200 suspensions per year connected with bullying. Springfield School District is the second largest district. Last year, they had more than 300 reported bullying incidents. Bethel School District averages around 200 reported bullying incidents per year. But to be fair, the numbers can be misleading.
So we know that relying on actually having reported cases to tell us what's happening with students and their interactions is not going to be the best way to look at this.
How do you capture what's not reported? And I think that's a challenge. I think that's a challenge everywhere.
Even though these school districts keep track of the number of bullying incidents reported, Oregon Department of Education does not require the districts by law to report those numbers. In an email, Morgan Allen from ODE told me, quote, "There are no current federal and state laws requiring any data to be collected in regards to bullying. We are required to collect data from school districts on discipline incidents, but it is not specific to incidents of bullying," end quote.
I called ODE and asked them, and I said, I don't see this. What is it that you want? And they said, at the current time, we're not requiring you to report anything. Which is surprising.
Surprising and a bit confusing for school administrators, because when House Bill 2599 was first written, it required school districts to report all incidents related to bullying. Not long after the bill was amended, the requirement taken out.
And I wanted to know why that bill was amended. In an email, Gelser told me, quote, "Such a data collection effort would have required additional staff at the department and required staffing time at the local district as well. While it would be useful to have this data in the budget environment we are in, it simply wasn't tenable." Everyone I spoke to at the district say that they are working to make schools safe, and they've started trying to change behavior at an early age. All of our local districts have anti-bullying programs in place. Live in the studio, I'm Lauren Allison, KVAL News.
Thanks, Lauren. And tomorrow we continue our bullying series. KVAL's Alyssa Harrington looks into if bullying is something that can be stopped, or is it just human nature?
A KVAL follow-up tonight. Friends are remembering a teenager killed in a car crash near Triangle Lake. The crash happened Tuesday afternoon. 18-year-old Shailene Montague died when the Jeep she was riding in fell 300 feet off a logging road. Ryan Schenzer survived the crash, but is having a hard time coping with the loss of his friend.
Not 10 minutes before the accident, I remember looking at her and she's just smiling, having the time of her life.
Ethan Perkey, who was injured in the crash, is in fair condition at River Bend. All three of the crash victims went to Triangle Lake High School. The superintendent tells us there are only 40 students at the high school, and grief counselors are available for students.
Now to a traffic alert for Highway 20. Starting Friday, a section of Highway 20 between Corvallis and the coast will be completely shut down, according to the Department of Transportation. Construction crews will be doing rock blasting. ODOT says to use Highway 34 instead. The section of Highway 20 will reopen next Monday, May 17th. If you have a news story to share, an idea, a scam, or maybe breaking news, we want to hear it. Call the KVAL tip line at 541-685. KVAL.
Well, coming up on KVAL News at 6, the governor's race. Democratic candidate Roger Obrist talks about how he would help our economy recover.
The sun is shining over Ferry Street Bridge and all across western Oregon as we are anticipating those additional sun breaks to not only wrap up our work week, but head into the weekend. I do want you to know, do you see here? We've got a lot of pollen out there in the air. Yeah, the pollen count's skyrocketing. Your complete pollen forecast tonight at 11. In the meantime, let's take a look and show you what we have to contend with tonight. We're looking at a mild overnight, temperatures in the 40s. More live from Ferry Street Bridge in your weather forecast. That's next.